What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And recently, many of you have reached out to the channel saying you finally got the Waveform holster. You've been asking me to put together a build based around it, so that is exactly what I'm bringing you today. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And we are having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced July 4th of this year. Now, as always, my friends, I do not want to waste your time, so we are going to jump right into the build breakdown, and then after that, you will see some gameplay footage of my using it. So starting with the specialization, you can see I'm using Technician. And for this build, there are three primary reasons why I've chosen that. First of all, we get that extra skill tier. Secondly, we get an extra 12% damage to drones, skill proxies, and robotics. You also have access to overclock CPU, which is going to give you an extra 10% skill damage as well. And remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. So when it comes to my weapons, I really kind of bounce between my primary and secondary depending on what's going on in the game. So we're going to go through both of them obviously really quick. So starting with the Capacitor, this is easily one of the best exotics in the game. And that is because it has the talent Capacitance, where shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. And not only that, for each skill tier, you're going to gain an additional 7.5% weapon damage. So because I'm at skill tier 6, that's going to give me an extra 45% weapon damage right off the rip. Now, if you don't have this weapon, I recommend using the test subject. I think I have one in my inventory here. Hang on, let's check really quick. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So this weapon has the talent perfectly in sync, and with that talent, hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds as well. And your damage increases are going to be doubled on your weapon damage and skill damage when both buffs are active at the same time, which is pretty much going to be running non-stop, which makes this one of the best talents to use in the game. Now that is going to take us to the secondary. It is the Harmony Rifle. It also has the talent perfectly in sync. And for those of you out there that have none of the weapons I just mentioned, use your favorite weapons, I don't care what they are, and just put the regular talent in sync on there. I can promise you that will still get the job done. Now, as we make our way to the sidearm, there happens to be an important detail I'd like to talk about really quick, and this is really for new and returning players, but you can see I'm using the TDI card and it has a skill tier. However, to be very clear, that skill tier is only going to be active when you're actually using the weapon. It is not active when the weapon is holstered, so please make sure you take that into consideration when you're putting a build together. Now moving on to the gear itself. Starting with the mask, it's a one piece of Wyvern, which is going to give us an extra 10% skill damage. Now you can see I re-rolled my core attribute to armor because I didn't need an additional skill tier because I'm already sitting at 6 with the specialization. And on every piece of gear in this build, my goal is to stack skill damage as well as skill haste and or skill duration everywhere I can. Moving on to the body armor, it is the first of 3 pieces of Empress, and we are running all 3 so we get all of the brand set bonuses. You can see that is skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. And for the talent on the chest, I'm using one of my favorites in the game, which is Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. Which now takes us to the holster, my friends, and needless to say, it is the Waveform. This thing is an absolute beast. That is because of its talent alternating current. And with that, you're going to generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The process then repeats forever. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. My voice is still all jacked up, but you know, what are you going to do, right? All right, that takes us to where are we going now? We have the holster. That means we have the knee pads and the gloves. Now, the knee pads are the one piece of Murakami, and I'm choosing to do that because we are going to get that extra 20% skill duration. And these happen to be the Emperor's Guard knee pads, which gives me an extra 1% armor regen, which I like because the build is a little bit squishy. If you don't have these, I think they're actually for sale this week at one of the Dark Zone vendors. Please correct me if I'm wrong. That now takes us to the gloves and the backpack. They are the final 2 pieces of the Empress International gear set. Again, skill haste, skill damage, and on the backpack you can see I am using the talent tech support, where skill kills are going to increase your skill damage by 25% for 25 seconds, which is an absolute lifetime in this game. So make sure when you're using this build, You want to let the skills do the work for you, my friends, because you want that talent running non-stop. Now, as far as the skills are concerned, you can see I'm using my two favorite in the game, the assault drone and the assault turret, but if you prefer something else, feel free to put anything else in its place. Most of you know that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel, so if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please leave them in the comments section, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. And always remember, and this is going to hold true for any build video I put out at the channel, this is just a template. There are so many different ways you can run with the build. Take your time, make a build your own. Please let me know if you have any questions. And as I promised earlier, I am going to leave you with that gameplay footage. I hope you enjoy it, my friends. I want to thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Incoming hostiles detected.